folks, welcome to Squids Fab Shop. This is going to be part 5 of the Triumph TR4 rebuild. I'm going to update you on the current status after the part 4 engine removal. Okay, so the last part you saw me remove the engine, and since then what's new at this point in time is the car is pretty much a shell now, with the exception of the wiper motor. I pretty much have all the fasteners all set, but I got to deconstruct these things. That does not look fun. I guess you can't help but notice that I've done some strengthening of the tub in preparation for some major surgery. If you don't know what this is the 1/2-inch steel conduit. It's galvanized. It's super cheap. It's almost a commodity at most big box store home improvement places. So I got 3 pieces, and basically what I do is pound an end flat and drill a hole. And what my goal was with this is I don't want to do any welding of these things on the tub. It's just, to me, that's annoying, big pain. I would rather have stuff be removable and replaceable as I do work if necessary. I used all existing holes with the exception of one place, which is right through here on the A-pillar, for this triangulation piece into the firewall. So it was really easy to put in. Some of it was built in place. Some were very carefully measured to maintain the distances here. So I started out with this piece crossing back and forth to keep the B-pillars separated properly. Then I triangulated each side, so that'll keep the B-pillar from flapping this way. I had a convenient hole in the floor pan, or the riser right there, to do a diagonal. I think there was some aftermarket seatbelt thing there, so that was very convenient. It's super strong, super stiff. It's very impressive. So in the front, I used the dash mount. And I got this basically setting the height for the front of the cowl to the frame. It also sets the roll, so it's not going to move around that way. Other side is another diagonal. And again, these triangular pieces, he'll keep the B-pillar set this way at the bottom. So yeah, super nice, super good. I'm very pleased with that. It's nice and inexpensive. I used Q20 hardware, with the exception of these, which I just used some Tractor Supply hardware. So yeah, pretty nice. I did get all the screws out of the floor pans. It was kind of amazing. I think it's because it just loaded up with sealer so much. So I got all those out, actually. It's kind of amazing. That side I didn't bother because the heads of the screws are so rusted, and there's hardly any metal left. I'm just gonna, on over there, I'm gonna just leave that until I get the floors out. I got the cheap American floors, so that doesn't come with the inverted U, so I'm gonna have to splice in along here, and that should be fine. And of course I have these rocker panels over here. I've been reading about those a little bit, and there's a couple different eras. There's always faults with whatever pressing batch it came out of, but I'll make them work. I guess there was some 20 gauge, then a 19 gauge, and then there was an 18 gauge, but then the tooling was wearing out, so I'll make them work somehow. It should be fine. These, I think I mentioned this, these are pop riveted on. So these are capping, I think, the original rockers, so it'll be interesting to see what's under there, although I think they might have torn off most of the stuff. So stick with me for part 5, see how far we get. I'm kind of excited, so keep watching. Okay, so I'm gonna I want to do a trial fit of these well, at least one of them's British heritage parts to the this floor pan. I'm gonna see how they fit up right off the bat. This looks like it fits okay. Okay, so I mocked this up. It actually fits pretty decently. The fit here is good. Same thing over there, although I don't like the way it's got the TR6 stuff in there, but whatever, that's fine. I clamp it. It looks pretty good. One thing that does not fit well, which I blame on this piece, is this panel kicks up here, and this does not match. Obviously it should, because this should kick up toward the wheel well, and obviously they were just too lazy and wanted to just bend it one long 90. So that's fine, I get it. I'll fix that. I can bend, cut, whatever, add a wedge, something. But yep, fits pretty good. I like it. I would love to slide this in as one piece, but this is pretty big. There might be some stuff in the way. We'll see. There we go. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Pretty easy to take out. Again, my existing, I'll call it upside down C or U channel, looks really good. I trimmed it a little big, and I'll probably cut it in the inside corner here to butt weld the new flange on that side. So yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, a couple more baby steps. I got the broken stud out right there. I got this guy off. It had the body mount, which is completely rusted from the main body. This side had a couple of these radioactive asbestos pads here. So, yeah, the screws, these came out. Okay, so what do we got here? So the floor is out. I actually put it back in temporarily just as a convenient tool stand. With the floor pan out, I have access to smash the footwell here back to shape. So in prep for that, I started cleaning the asphalt off. I don't know, the ding-dongs who did this car before put asphalt on the inside, which is driving me nutty. But I scraped a lot of it off, and I'll probably clean it up with thinner. So yeah, when I take this floor pan out, I will be able to cut out this filler piece. It should look like that, which is pretty nice and flat. This is all mangled. So I drilled out some of the spot welds that I could see. There's a line there, there's one there, there's a line up at the top. So that coincides with this line here, step down and then a line there. I've already got some of it loosened, but now I got to go over there and chisel some out. Light in here. Okay. There we go. I can save this stuff. Okay. Okay, I'm going to try smashing out some of these dents. I'm going to be a little tentative at first because I don't want to distort anything, especially down here where it's pretty weak. There's only that one little U-channel there holding it from moving back and forth. I did wedge a piece of wood in there to maybe absorb some stuff and maybe help keep it in place. Okay, that was a minute ago for you, but for me it's been many weeks. I got kind of tied up with work and it's been a long time. I had a vacation in between. But a couple days ago I did take some of the tar off of this. It looks much better. You can kind of see what the whole goal was. This was pushed in like 1.5 inches. Now it's all flat across, just like that side. There's a couple little cracks and things. I'll fix that. Of course, I'm still stuck with this guy, which is totally mangled back here. There's supposed to be a depression there. That's been smashed out for some reason. It's all rusted on the flange. This corner was all rusted out. It's a TR4A, so this is not even the original wheel well. So what I did is I found a new to me wheel well. This thing is in fantastic condition. It's got no crash damage. So you can see here how it should look. It's all, you know, nice seam here. These are all in good shape. The donor car wheel well stuff is still on here, so I can just drill out the spot welds and take this off, and then I can install this whole thing on there. This does have some rust up here, so I think what I might do is get rid of most of this apron and splice in up along here onto the car here. Because for whatever reason, this apron is in fantastic condition. There's no rust on the in the seams, the pinch welds here. So this definitely I'd keep. Replace all this. Have like some kind of butt joint all the way across. Get this whole thing replaced. That'll save me some time. That was pretty inexpensive. I was very happy to pick that up. And it's the correct style. Now the question to me is, maybe I should just remove this whole front fender. The only thing holding it on is the spot welds here, which I kind of would like to redo anyway. And actually I could replace this whole section with the new stuff. And then this seam, this pinch weld here, if I take that off, this whole thing will come off. And then I can graft the new wheel well to this upper apron in a nice comfy location somewhere. And you know, do a nice job there, and then graft the whole thing back on, take my time, do a nice job. So it's kind of funny how I'm kind of drifting way off course here. I started with this guy over here, but that's the way it is, and that's okay. I've not done this before. I'm kind of rebuilding a body to this extent on a frame, so that's okay. If I can sort of start here, get this all correct, you know, it's all gonna ultimately get to the same place, which is a good solid tub here. So it's a good thing I'm doing this. This wasn't held on by much at all. A couple welds here and there. This doesn't have spot welding anymore, so So they edge welded it in a couple spots. There's some welding in there, which is hard to get to, but I'll get that sliced off. I cut this one a little bit. Never thought I'd be doing this. Even at this early stage, I'm surprised I've gone this deep. But I can't help myself. I just want to make it safe, strong. It doesn't have to be perfectly beautiful, but I really want it to be back to its good old TR4 self. So, with the removal of that wheel well, I was able to put the two side by side and check for differences. And indeed, I did notice one thing. When I look at this TR4 panel that I procured, I noticed the footwell flange here on the angle. It's not all the way to the corner. It actually has a 1-inch vertical section here. Plus there's a divot for a piece of hardware for a screw to go in to a nut right at the corner. That's for the baffle here, which gets installed between the apron and fender. This one's in pretty tough shape, but when I look at the apron that was on the car, this guy is angled along the footwell all the way up to the corner. There's no 1-inch vertical section. Plus the divot is like 2.5 inches down from the corner. So what I believe, after looking into this a little bit, is obviously this is not an original apron. I believe this is a TR5, TR250 apron, because in '68 they had gone to a new pedal arrangement that was mounted to this front part of the wheel footwell, and I looked at some pictures, and in the TR6 it's definitely flat. There's no kink or with a vertical section. So I think the TR5, TR250 was the same. So obviously it fits pretty close enough because that's the same thing over there. So anyway, that made me think of what to do in my situation here. Since that apron is a little bit different, I want to save more of the TR4 apron. So you can see here I've already cut off the rusted gutter here, and I cut it pretty close to the gutter, so I'm saving as much of this apron as I can. So I did cut off the good gutter from that apron over there, and I cut it a little longer so that I can overlap it to this wheel well here, and when I clamp it on, I will be able to cut through both pieces at the same time. It'll leave me a perfect gap to fill with weld, and I'll be able to peel off the waste cut on each side, and it'll be a perfect butt weld. And I also did do a measurement here. I put some scratch marks before I cut the original gutter off. 3-inch marks, scratch marks. So I'll be able to measure from this edge to the scratch mark. It should be 3 inches. I also put lines in here that'll go right to the center of this these holes. I did it in a couple spots, so that'll just put the thing in the perfect position. Once that's done, I'll be able to graft the whole assembly back onto the car. First, doing some fixes here. I want to replace some metal here. Hopefully then I'll be able to close out this video, because it's been like 5 months. So set in place, ready to cut. It's going to be a little tricky around the arch here, but the rest should be okay. you get the gist of what I'm doing. You basically cut both sides through, and then you can peel away the scrap on both sides. This side's very thin, so there isn't much, but you get the idea. Well-known technique, but that's what I like to do. So anyway, it's going together. I'm liking what I see. So good. Okay, here we find ourselves in the shop on another evening, and I'm going to do some frame checks, at least for the front mounts here, these two. As I showed before, this thing has been bent back, and it obviously looks like it's crooked. So I took a look at the frame chart as published by Triumph in their manual. Since the body's on the frame and I really can't set up this Y datum easily, I'm just going to do some delta measurements. So if I look at this, I look at the front mount, which is angled out, that's 52. And then there's 53, which is that little radiator mount sitting on top of the frame. So the difference between those two I can get by comparing, or making the difference between 3.13 and 4.92, which is, I believe, 1.79 inches. And indeed I did check it. I got an actual of 1.95, so it's a little bit under 3/16 inch high, and going in the fore and aft, the difference between these two this way, it should be 2 inches. I'm getting an actual of 1.45 inches, so that's about 0.55 inches pushed backward. So what I'm going to do is cut it off, see if I can straighten it out, because it looks pretty good, there's no rust or anything, and weld it back on. I kind of thought maybe I should use Mr. Persuader here and see if I can get a piece of it and bend it a little bit. I don't know, let's see what happens. Maybe the car will fall off the jack stands, I don't know. Okay, here we go. It's a little... Let's give it a smack. Jeez, it moved. Sledgehammer patina. It looks like it could go a little more. Okay, here we go. So right now I'm just eyeballing it, but I'll check it in a little while. But if I look here and then measure it over to there, I don't know, it's looking pretty good. Let's check the fit again. Okay, I think I'm going to call that good for now, and you can actually see the hole here. I'm sure I could flex this in enough here, and I should be okay. Okay, that's kind of awesome. I was planning on cutting it off and re-welding, but now I don't have to. I use my super duper handy shop tool, the Sledgehammer, and got it into a place where I can proceed with the bodywork. When I get the tub in a better place after the major surgery, I'm going to, of course, take the body off, and I'll take a much better care about getting all the frame points corrected, because this frame definitely has some wonkiness. I'm definitely going to fix that. So, in the beginning of this video, there were crickets in the background, nice warm summer evenings, and now it's cold and snowy out there. So it's time for me to end this episode. I really appreciate you watching. There's a lot of Triumph folks doing stuff on YouTube, so this is definitely on the low end of the scale, but I really appreciate the views I'm getting. It's been fun. It's a little bit of work, but I'm enjoying it, and actually it's good for me too, because I get to look at it later on and see what I'm doing. So take care, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye bye.